Guys, this morning, I just want to say I had like a swell of pride for our community because I wasn't going to post it, but I saw this post that my friend had pointed out on Instagram stories of this creator, and the comments were so abhorrent. I really was like brought to tears almost. They were so homophobic, like outwardly just homophobic. And so I like commented like a bunch like back to them because I just like, I don't know, like usually I don't respond to trolls, but there was so many, it just must have gotten on the wrong side of the internet. And I was just like, what the like hell is going on? And my friend who posted the original post was like, I seriously feel like homophobia, this outward hatred is so on the rise in this country and we need to call it out. And we do. And we honestly do. It's just like, it was so crazy to me. I don't know what happened. And then the creator of the post like reposted and was like, oh, thank you for standing up for me or whatever. And then you guys got a hold of it. And I saw just this enormous influx of like positive comments from you guys and like, you know, you guys fighting back the trolls. And it just made me feel like really, really, really happy and really proud of our little corner of the internet and our community and what we stand for. And just like the fact that you guys will always swoop in and like do the right thing. And I just wanted to say that I love you and I'm just very proud of us. And we all should keep doing that. And we have to stick together on this stuff and we have to continue to be bright lights. And then I started listening to, you know, all of my pump up songs on the way to the subway. And I was like, I want to write legislation. Like I want to, in my next era, maybe not this era because I'm very busy working on some big things, but in my next era, I want to go to Washington and I want to write legislation with the help of some people who understand how that stuff works, about like why you should have to have internet passports to like leave comments. Like I think that we should do this because this is the only way we're going to solve this. And I once read that if people had to write their full names to leave a hate comment, it would reduce internet bullying by 80%. Isn't that crazy? 80%. So I don't know. That's just something I see for my future. Like I want to do something about harassment. I want to just get involved with that. So that was my dream on the way to going to the subway. But that's how I manifest. I start imagining it in person. I imagine what kind of suit I would wear when I'm standing in Washington giving my little speech. And I'm going to make it a reality. Anyway, let's talk to Mary. Hey, Mary, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on? Thanks for calling.
Of course, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to call in. I just had this situation happen with a fella that I was seeing and wanted to just get your 2 cents. I know recently you posted a video about like the flip, like when it happened to the guy that you've been seeing.
Oh.
So I had that happen.
It's like, it's actually the worst. I have an episode coming out Monday about the flip because we need to speak on it. It's the most frustrating thing on the fucking planet. So tell us what happened.
Yeah, it just makes you feel insane. So yeah, I matched with a guy on Hinge, had a great like first date, made the second date, like on the first date, just heavy interest, like texting all the time, calling. Saw each other multiple times throughout the last like 2 weeks. A little like maybe love bomby light,
right?
Like a little like making future plans and like telling me how much he liked me and just a lot of interest, but it was mutual. Like I felt like we were on the same page and, you know, he wanted a relationship and all this stuff. And then, yeah, like just literally one night we're making plans for a few days ahead of time to like make dinner, texting as normal, and then I get a text at like 6:45 in the morning that's like, hey, I've been thinking and I'm not ready for a relationship. And like it's run its course and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, like I respond and just kind of am like, ask a little bit for clarity. I don't get any response. And I also said like I had some of his things. So I was like, if you want me to like put some of your things like out on my front step for you to get when you want them, like let me know. And I never got a response from him.
Damn.
And then 2 days later, he's riding his bike down my house and I'm like walking and I see him and he looks at me and smiles and just keeps going.
You're lying.
Like, no, like fully ignored me.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, I don't know. So I don't know. You probably know like all the things that go through your head. Like, did I do something wrong? Like what happened? Like, should I have seen that this was like too fast, too soon? And so I'm just like, kind of like rattled from it,
Yeah, you're rattled. Rattled is a really good word to explain it, because it's like, it's rattling. It's so weird. We have no reason to like mistrust someone when they're telling us. That's why it's so confusing, you know, like we have no reason to mistrust someone when they're telling us that they like us and things are going well and we're feeling good. And then it's just like, bam, the bait and switch. This is more like bait and switchy. This seems more like almost kind of like aggressive than the flip. This is more love bomb, bait and switch. This is crazy. I'm sorry. I mean, to me, in these situations, the only thing that really helps is time. You're going to feel rattled for a little bit. It's confusing. There's no explanation. He's just that type of person. He's just, trust me, he's done it before. He'll do it again. He's just that type of person. He gets addicted to the validation and the intimacy, and, you know, they want to be wanted by someone. And like, it's the initial rush of that, like, oh, there's someone new and it's exciting. And then they just don't care, which is like, honestly, psychopath behavior. It's really unsettling. You're never going to get an explanation. Throw his shit away.
I did. I put it in the trash.
Good for you. And block him. I'm telling you, block him.
Yeah. I feel like, do you think that in these situations, like either the flip or like this situation, are those feelings, do you think men actually like do mean those things that they say to you, but then they flip up, like switch up? Or do you feel like they never mean it when they say like nice things?
It's a really good question.
Authentic or not.
It's a really good question. I don't know. I think that they think that it's true, but it's not. I think that a lot of the time, the men who do this sort of behavior, men who do the flip, are very shallow. And I don't mean shallow in the typical way. I mean shallow emotionally, like they don't have a lot of depth, and they're not like self-aware, introspective people. Like they don't go deep. They don't think about other people. They're kind of just very shallow people. So I think to them, it feels good to be like, oh yeah, I can see us dating. Oh, I really like you, you know, this and that. They're not even thinking about what that means because they don't know what it means. Right.
Yeah.
And then they wake up one day, they're like, okay, I want more of that, but something different. And it doesn't even like register in their head that that's weird. All this to say, not a person that you want to be with. Still rattling and frustrating, but not a person you want to be with, and just like weird.
Yeah, thanks. I feel like it's just hard then moving forward, like to keep dating, and you're like, you just makes you more guarded.
It does.
You already are.
It does. It makes you so much more guarded. It's messed up because you're just like, you don't know what to trust. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to take you a minute, but just try not to take it personally, because it's not like he's going to do it to other people, and it's nothing that you did or said. It's just that type of shallow, validation addicted person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Tinx. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate the advice. I think I just, needed to hear from someone else, like, you didn't do anything wrong.
No, you didn't. Seriously.
All thoughts swirl around.
Put it out of your mind. Put it out of your mind. Trust me. You didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I can't wait for your episode about that for sure.
Come in Monday. Yeah, tune in Monday on the 30th. It'll be a whole episode about the flip, because I've had some real bad ones. I've had some ones where I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it's just so confusing and painful. So do something nice for yourself today. Go get a pedicure, go on a walk, watch a show, and then shake it off. And by the weekend, truly don't think about him again.
Okay. Thanks,
I love you. Thanks for calling. Thanks.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
This is sort of a Hail Mary. I don't know if I'm using that phrase correctly. If you have ever done the flip, if you're a guy out there listening, would you call or write to me? It's 844-305-2639. If you have ever like love bombed someone, and you can change your name, and I won't be judgmental and I won't be bitchy, I promise. I'm genuinely curious, like, to hear from someone who's done it's perspective. That would be so cool if we could talk to someone who's done it. You can also email me. It's metinx@SiriusXM.com. But that would be just, I don't know. That would be so interesting. I will hold my hand up and say I love bomb, but it's usually like because I genuinely feel it, because I fall very fast. So it's not love bombing if you do it forever, if you want to do it forever. I'm like, oh, do you want to move in on the second date? But then they actually do. So I don't think it's love bombing in that case. Sorry, I'm decisive. Okay, let's go to Anna. Hi, Anna.
Me?
Yes, you. Hi.
Thanks. What the fuck is up?
What's up?
So speaking on your manifesting thing with your lawmaking, I was thinking when I was on hold with you, so I was at your very first Aspen thing.
Oh, yeah.
DJ thing,
Yeah.
and you manifested that, and look at you now. So
I did. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. That's good. Yeah. I'm going to write some legislation eventually. What's going on with you?
So I have a super quick summer of outside story, even though like summer's over, but it leads into my question.
Amazing. Love it.
So I am on kind of like a 6-month like road trip. Like I'm remote working, but I'm just trying out living in different cities.
Cool.
And when I was living in Venice Beach, I was sitting in my bungalow and I was FaceTiming my best friend. And I saw this just like mob of hot people running by me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And my friend looked at my location. She was like, oh, your bungalow is like right next to where Venice Run Club starts and ends.
Oh.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like hundreds of people. And I was like, well, I want to meet people, but I don't want to run 3 or 4 miles or whatever. And she was like, oh, you should set up like a snack table outside of your bungalow, like they do at marathons, and just like try to meet people. So
I'm
I did.
dead. That's so summer of outside. That's so good.
Yeah, and I like put up a sign and said, hey, I'm new to the neighborhood. If you want to pregame Fred again, hit me up and like have a little treat. And so people came by and took Gatorades and stuff. I ended up getting asked on a date and getting invited to a Fred again pregame and postgame. So that was just like a fun little like.
I love that.
I kind of felt like a weirdo.
No, I think that's so cute and fun.
So anyways, being on this road trip, I am away from all of my best friends at home. And it's been so much fun, but I miss them. And it is kind of bringing up some lingering insecurities from a best friend breakup from 2 years ago.
Okay.
Which I'm very thankful for, like your show and podcast, because friend breakups get brought up a lot. And like while you're in it, sometimes it can feel kind of like isolating and weird because you're like, oh, none of my friends have gone through this. You kind of like feel like, I don't know, like an awful person. And in some ways it's like people don't fully understand, because like if you get broken up with in a relationship, people can empathize. They think it's normal, whatever. But some people don't understand the depth of a best friend breakup. And like in some ways it's worse, because with a relationship, I feel like you can reason sometimes like, oh, they just couldn't see themselves marrying me or whatever. But like when a best friend breakup happens, you're like, oh, you just like don't like me as a person.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes harder.
For sure.
But anyways, so some of those insecurities are getting brought up on this trip, just like being away from my friends, because sometimes I'll think like, I don't talk to them for a while. Like, are they going to like forget about me? Or like when the best friend breakup was happening, like getting told I was like bad vibes or a bad friend or something. I'm like, it's always like kind of in the back of my head. Like if something like off happens with a friend, I'm like, oh, are they going to want to like not be friends anymore because of this? I'm like, I know that's not true, because all of my friends were so supportive and like, so amazing. And I love them so much. Like they held space for me throughout all of this when I was like talking about it and crying about it endlessly. So yeah, I was just wondering your thoughts on that and like maybe how to like flip it or deal with those.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like you said, a friend breakup is so painful. It's so incredibly painful. But here's the thing. Every friendship is so different. And this hasn't been a pattern for you. You've kept all your other friends. You said all your other friends were supportive. I think you're probably just thinking about your friend a little bit, which is, similar to a breakup. Sometimes we'll be at a place in our life and we will be thinking about a person. We'll be thinking about a guy. It will just bring it up for us, because whatever wounds we have from that relationship or situationship, it brings it up for us. And we'll think about that person for a week. I think that's what it is. That's normal. Life is like a necklace, right? And we have all these beads we add to this necklace, different experiences, different people, and that's what makes us. That's what makes us a person. And it's like, it's normal to reflect on bigger moments and things that affected you. It doesn't mean anything for your current situation right now because it's not a pattern, right? It was just a one-time thing. I think you're just thinking about your friend, and it's okay. It's okay to do that. It's okay to reflect, but don't speak from the scar, not from the wound. I love that mantra, meaning like come from a healed place, not from a broken place, because you're just reflecting a little bit, and that is okay.
Yeah. And I love that mantra because usually when you say it, it's like being applied to people who are talking about like relationship breakups, but I guess I didn't really think to apply it to this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that is good to know. And it's good to talk to someone else about it because like I said, my friends are so supportive, but sometimes it's just you don't want to bring the same thing up.
I get it. Sometimes we get stuck on something, but I really wouldn't beat yourself up about this, and I would just allow yourself to have these thoughts, but know that they're just thoughts. That doesn't mean anything for your current situation, your current friendships. Just give yourself a little grace. You're just kind of reprocessing. It's okay. It happens. And it is hard. It is hard. Breakups, friend breakups. I still think about some friend breakups I had 4 years ago. I'm sometimes I still, I think, I kind of miss that person. Then I'm no, I don't. And then I'm they really did me dirty. It's normal. We ruminate on things that happen to us.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Tinx.
Thank you for calling. Likewise. And thank you for your fun Summer of Outside story. That's very inspiring. And I'm glad you got to pregame and postgame Fred again with some fun people. So thanks for calling. Lots of love.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. What a cutie. What an angel. That's a really good idea with the run club thing. Okay. Super quick break. I'm going to take more calls right after this. So if you're on the line, stay on the line.